I lost all of my crypto. My entire portfolio wiped away is a statement that I've heard too many times in the news. And that's an unfortunate reality some crypto investors have experienced in their journey. I mean, whether it's $10 or $10,000, being a victim of theft is just heartbreaking. And I fully sympathize with the frustration that can brew when the money you worked so hard for gets snatched right from under you. And so that's why in today's video, I want to share a few simple ways you can protect your crypto from disaster and loss. My hope is that with this information, you'll be able to better secure the value that you have built in your portfolio. And if you find any value in this video, please remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you, and let's jump in. So every once in a while, I'll turn on the news, or a friend who is new to crypto will send me a story about how a major exchange like Coinbase got hacked and users innocently lose all of their money. And although that's unfortunate and actually could scare people away from crypto altogether, when you dig deeper into these stories, the reality is, in most cases, the exchange is not being hacked. It is the user being hacked because of user negligence. The good news is that there are ways to protect yourself. And so in a moment, I'm going to share a few security steps that I take to safeguard my portfolio that I hope will help you in your journey. But first, I need to say that none of this should be considered investment advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. Great. So my first security tip is a little obvious, but in my opinion, does not get taken as seriously as it should. And that's number one, have a strong and unique password. Now, I get it. I mean, we all know we need a unique password, but we tend to use the same password across the various websites we're registered. And although it may be convenient, you're highly susceptible to attacks. For example, if a hacker gains access to your email password and that password is the same across all of your online property, now they basically have the keys to the castle and can wipe out your portfolio in an instant. And believe it or not, password leaks happen all the time. You can actually go to a site called havebeenpwned.com to find out if your password is known in the criminal underworld. But either way, having a strong and unique password for every platform you visit is your first line of defense. So the second crypto security tip I have for you is number two, don't use public Wi-Fi. When you go to places like Starbucks and jump on their free Wi-Fi, for hackers, breaching your system is less complex than your go-to coffee order.
Yes, I'll take a grande no whip white chocolate mocha with 5 pumps and an extra shot made with soy. Thank you.
Hackers actually have a ton of creative ways to steal your information through public Wi-Fi networks. For example, there's sniffing software that hackers use to capture your unencrypted data from your device. There are also fake versions of a website and even fake Wi-Fi login pages that can be presented to you. So while you think you're on Facebook, you're really on Fakebook. Now, there are layers of protection you can use like a VPN when using public Wi-Fi networks, but in my opinion, it's probably best to just stay away altogether if you're using the device that you use to manage your crypto portfolio. So my third crypto security tip is avoid phishing scams. Phishing scams can appear to us in many different forms, but the goal of it is always the same: to place you in a position to unknowingly give out your sensitive data, or even worse, purposely give away your crypto. Phishing scams are so prevalent right now that I could probably dedicate an entire video to them, but to shed some light on a few ways your security can be compromised, here are the most popular scams I've seen. First, fake websites. It is very common for cyber criminals to spoof real websites like Coinbase or Binance.us, and generally they'll fool you with some small subtle change like, maybe they'll use Coinbase.co or Binance-us.com, and your eyes can easily overlook the difference. Victims of this scam, like the Toronto man who recently lost $300,000, will unknowingly enter their login credentials into a fake login page, basically giving the crooks access to their wallet. If you need to log into anything, always double check the website address and never follow a link from social media or any other type of forum if your login credentials will be needed. Another phishing scam you need to avoid is fake emails. This works in a similar way criminals use fake websites. Essentially you'll receive an email that looks like it's coming from a credible source like Coinbase. And the contents of the email will usually try to scare you into an action, like telling you your account has been compromised or telling you your account is about to be shut down. And basically you'll need to log in immediately to secure your account. And whether they forward you to a fake login page or have you respond to the email, the end goal will always be to access your credentials. So the last phishing scam you need to be aware of is fake investment schemes. You've probably heard of the saying, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. This is important to remember because there are scams out there that are designed to prey on a person's greed. Just like what happened recently to a man in Europe who got caught into one of these scams and ended up losing his life savings. Investment schemes can come in all shapes and sizes, but the worst ones that I have seen can usually be found throughout social media and YouTube. And the criminals here will deceptively use an influencer's likeness like Elon Musk and promote a Bitcoin or Ethereum giveaway. But to win the Bitcoin, you need to send in your Bitcoin, which makes no sense, but people fall for this trap all of the time. Being conned out of your crypto portfolio is devastating and definitely something you never want to experience, especially as I've heard victims of phishing scams in general will at times feel at fault for losing their money to criminals, which is just really unfortunate. However, knowing what's out there can hopefully give you a leg up if you come face to face with a phishing scam. So my next crypto security tip is use multiple wallets. So if you didn't know, all of your crypto sits in a wallet in some shape or form. Even the crypto you purchase through an exchange like Coinbase will sit in their master wallet until you decide you want to send it to a personal wallet of your own. And there are different types of wallets out there. There are hot storage wallets and cold storage wallets. The main difference between the two is internet connectivity. Hot wallets are connected to the internet and cold storage wallets are basically not connected to the internet. Now, the majority of the crypto community will swear by cold storage wallets because they're almost impossible to compromise. And, I'll basically agree on that point. However, hot wallets are convenient and can be safe if proper security steps are taken. You'll need to decide what wallet or combination of wallets will work for you, but choosing to use multiple wallets to hold your crypto can protect you from misfortune. So the benefit here is if for some reason one of your wallets happens to get compromised, your entire portfolio will not be wiped away in one single event. Now, threats can come, as we've discussed, in many different ways, but sometimes it comes down to a simple mistake. Kind of like what happened to a British man who accidentally threw out his hard drive that contained his private key. Right now, there's almost $300 million in Bitcoin just sitting in a landfill, and he'll never be able to retrieve it. Now, this is a costly mistake, and even losing a fraction of your portfolio would be terrible. But It's not as bad as losing everything. And so having your coins spread out in multiple wallets can insulate a loss and ultimately protect you from losing your entire crypto bag. And the last crypto security tip I'd like to share with you is, if possible, use a dedicated crypto device. Now, this one is a little personal to me because no one in the crypto community has suggested this, but I have found this to offer an additional layer of security when managing my portfolio. The thought process behind using a dedicated device for my crypto came when I learned how most attacks happen. We've already discussed how criminals use public Wi-Fi and fake emails and even fake websites to access your crypto wallet. But in addition, fake text messages are included in hacking attempts as well. And although being aware can put you on alert and hopefully avoid ruin, it highlights the risk of using your phone or even your laptop, because if you're like me, you receive emails and text messages and have other apps that have nothing to do with crypto on those devices. Again, this is not to say that using your phone or laptop means you will get hacked. No, not at all. But it is to say that there is a level of vulnerability. Having a tablet that does not receive emails or text messages or doesn't even have those apps on there shuts that entry gate to your wallet. Since this tablet is only used for crypto, it would basically remain in a safe place, and there would be no threat of accidentally joining a public Wi-Fi network or having outdated non-crypto apps that could become compromised at some point. And for me, one of the best parts is the ability to back up the tablet. So if it gets damaged or stolen, or I just accidentally drop it in the toilet, it's okay because I could just go get a new device and pick up where I left off. So investing in crypto can be exciting and has the ability to create unfathomable wealth for investors. But anyone who decides to jump into the market needs to understand the concept that basically you are your own bank. And although that offers a sense of freedom and protection from centralized exposure, it also carries a personal fiduciary responsibility in managing your crypto portfolio. And it's important to admit that just like in every other market, there are criminals out there that have made a career in stealing other people's money. However, applying the tips that I shared and being purposeful with the steps you take to safeguard your crypto will defend your portfolio if any attacks find their way to you. But let me know your thoughts. I mean, do you agree with the security tips that I shared, or am I just off base? Do you have any additional security tips that you take that I should have included? Please leave them in the comments. Also, if you have any questions or need me to expand on anything I talked about today, also please leave that in the comments. And lastly, I want to thank you for your time. Your time is valuable to me, so I do hope you found value in this video. And thank you, and until next time.